how, on behalf of myself and Banner Promotions, Artie Palulo, and Top Rank, we are very proud of this night. But the entire night was really, the icing on the cake was the main event. I mean, that was probably one of the best fights I've seen in many, many years. And you know, it's really, really fitting when you have the build-up that we had this week for this fight. We had every possible analogy and cliche you could talk about with the bull and the matador, and you know, the college graduate, master's degree that Chris has, the fact that he's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, all those kinds of publications that normally might not cover boxing, and versus, you know, the real Siberian tiger in Ruslan Provodnikov. But one thing that I'm extremely pleased to have seen is that Chris showed that he also is a warrior in the ring. And he showed that in addition to having the character and background that he has outside the ring, he also has inside the ring. And you couldn't have wrote a better script. Chris Algieri got off the deck twice from the first round, had his eye completely closed, and yet he defeated one of the most fearsome fighters in the game, in Ruslan Provodnikov. So I say right now, you look back to the old great fighters, but I'm saying right now that I firmly believe a new star has been born in the boxing industry, and that's Chris Algieri.
You can talk there, Chris.
Talk me?
Use the microphone.
Oh, nice. Look at that. You can't see on that side, so. I always said Arturo Gatti was my favorite fighter in high school, but I never wanted to fight like him. And I think I might have turned it in for half a night. But yeah, no, it was such a great opportunity. I'm so happy that this all came together the way it did. You know, Ruslan was a guy that nobody wanted to fight, and I had said that, you know, for me this wasn't just about a title. This wasn't about making more money than I've ever made. This isn't about the future, about making money. This is about me winning tonight. I was more concerned about coming out of here 20-0 than coming out of here a world champion. So for me, it's my competitive nature to want fights like this, and that's what kept me in this fight. You know, it was a lot of doubters going into this fight, how much I really wanted it. Ruslan kept talking about he would die in the ring, would I be willing to do that? And I think that I showed that I belong there as well, even though I didn't come from, you know, a torn, you know, childhood or upbringing. I came from the suburbs of Long Island. I don't have to fight. I fight because I love to fight. And if you didn't see passion in those 12 rounds, then I don't know what you were looking at. So I just want to thank everybody involved. I want to thank, you know, Joe and Artie and all the promotions that came together for this fight and gave me this opportunity. I want to thank the champion for taking a big risk and a gamble and taking this fight, coming here to New York, and putting this bad boy up.
Chris Algieri, coming out of Chris Algieri, I say like this: you brought the sweet science of boxing tonight. Now, coming back out of a kickboxing world, was there a time that you wanted to kick this cat in the face?
No. I think my kickboxing days are over. I'm a boxer now.
I think I'll tell you something more important than whether or not there's a rematch clause, is the fact that
I don't remember actually, Danny.
And I think there might be language to the extent of negotiations between us and reasonable efforts, maybe, something to that effect. But the reality is that we'll sit down, and this was a fantastic fight. It was a fantastic fight, and obviously we're going to look to see what's the best in the future for Chris.
Joe's matchmaker thinks it might be. We don't remember. Sure. You know, we're good friends. We work together with Demetrius Andrew. We work together putting this together right now. The truth of it is I don't remember what the contract said at this moment. But that won't be hard to find out tomorrow.
I also want to ask you one question for Chris. Congratulations on your victory. I don't know if this was asked before I came in here. It's one thing to win a world title. What was it like for you not only to win the title, but to do it with the entire crowd chanting, you know, Algieri, Algieri, the entire fight? And did you hear that during the course of the fight?
I really heard when I came out, and I heard that they actually booed Ruslan a little bit, which I'm not happy about, but it did show my numbers were here. And but I had said that prior to the fight. You know, a lot of people were asking me what the crowd was going to be like, and I said it was going to be a pro Algieri crowd. You know, and I said multiple times in the past that this is how I pictured me winning a world title, having it in New York and fighting like this. I didn't picture my face like this.
Chris, I know you probably felt like you were winning. Did you think the judges were seeing you winning? Did you expect to get the decision when the fight was over?
You know, it's funny. I'm really thinking about it. As odd as that probably sounds. You know, I was in the moment of each round and trying to, you know, it was, all of a sudden I looked up and it was the 11th round, and I knew I was winning and winning each round. But at the end, I wasn't really too nervous about it. I was just waiting to hear end new. I just wanted to hear that end new.
We have Matisse, we have Maidana, Martinez, and how you see yourself now? You know, you have all basically your background as American and live in the United States. If they in Argentina, did they know about you? Not the way they know about them because they've been fighting for all the years, but did they embrace you as one of their champions and that elite group as Argentina fighters doing well in the United States?
Yeah, since my last, yes, the answer is yes. I've been reached out by a lot of the Argentinian fans recently, since the last fight really, when I started getting more national exposure, and I guess got more international exposure. My social networking is very strong, and I get contacted quite a bit from people. I don't really have an idea of who I want to fight next. We'll sit back and see.
Well, Bob Arum said if he wins the fight, he's got Manny Pacquiao next.
Hey,
That's what he said.
nothing bigger in the game.
That's what Bob Arum said.
You mentioned your Long Island background as like not being spoiled or being spoiled in privilege.
No, I didn't.
No, you mentioned compared to a war-torn background. Growing up in Long Island, I'm a fellow Long Islander. Do you think that kind of put a chip on your shoulder to win more, to prove that because you didn't come from a hard background, you had more to prove?
No, it wasn't so much that it was a chip. It just kept brought up a lot.
Yes.
It kept getting brought up and brought up and brought up, and you know, I think a lot of people are questioning my resolve because of that. And no, I think a lot of people don't understand why I fight at all. So they don't believe that that's true, but I think I proved that.
Chris,
How hurt were you? How hurt were you in the first round?
The only punch that hurt me actually the whole night was that first left hook. I didn't see it. I threw a sloppy left hook out of my hand down. I got caught with that hard shot. That put me down, and my eyes started swelling immediately. So that second night, I just took a knee to gather really what was going on with my eye, more so than actually gather my wits. My leg.
Chris, congratulations.
What time? Okay.
Chris, congratulations, okay?
Thank you.
2 questions. I want to touch on your strategy for taking a knee in the first round, considering that was going to put you at a major deficit as the fight would prolong, okay? What was the logic behind that? And were there any concerns that you created, an obstacle that may have been hard to overcome?
It's harder to overcome getting stopped than it is overcoming a knockdown. So after that first knockdown, I wanted to make sure that my eye was okay before I got hit with another shot while trying to gather myself on my feet. I figured I'd gather myself on my knee. That way I don't get hit with another shot that could really have injured my eye and possibly ended the fight. It was starting to affect me after the 8th. By the 12th round, it was shut. I couldn't see. He hit me with a jab right in the beginning of the 12th round, and then it was gone. Winning the fight, I believe. If I'm out there going and outboxing guy, you know, my eye half shut, obviously I can still see someone. Not really. They were just concerned for my health. They were making sure that I could see.
Can we do it?
Hey Chris, congratulations. When I interviewed you, you mentioned that you had only been a professional boxer for 6 years, and that's quite impressive. How does it feel? I mean, all other questions aside, how are you feeling right now, knowing that you've defeated all the odds and you're now a world champion?
Good. Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to express that much feeling into words, but I don't know. I feel it's been a surreal. This whole thing, I've enjoyed every moment of it. I really have. Everything, the whole build up, everything going on into this fight. You know, this I told Ron this the other day. I'm built for this stuff. You know, I enjoyed everything leading up and just the pageantry and the movement and the events, and it's cool. You know, and I like it. So I really enjoyed every step of the way.